Soft piano and strings fade in. The camera pans slowly across a candlelit ballroom, chandeliers glowing, footsteps echoing in polished marble halls. A white feather quill glides across parchment, sealing a letter with hot wax. The sound of a distant waltz begins to build. Then a voice, elegant, calm, and familiar, speaks softly. Dearest, gentle viewer. Once again, London's high society stirs. Whispers fill the air, hearts flutter, and secrets. Oh, secrets are never far behind. The season is upon us, and it seems another Bridgerton story is ready to unfold. The letter is placed on a silver tray. A gloved hand takes it. The wax seal bears one name, Bridgerton. Fade to black. The music swells as golden letters appear. The soft hum of the orchestra continues under the narration. The voice returns, smooth and deliberate. The city sleeps under velvet skies, unaware of the storm that brews beneath its silken surface. The carriages have rolled away. The candles have burned low, and yet behind every closed door, hearts beat faster with anticipation. For in the grand world of the Tun, peace never lasts long. Cut to slow-moving visuals, faceless silhouettes passing in the dim glow of gas lamps. A young woman in a pale gown stares out a rain-specked window. A man walks alone through cobblestone streets, holding a single letter. Season 3 left us breathless. Love declared, hearts broken, and alliances tested. Yet as one chapter closes, another begins to stir. The Bridgertons, ever so elegant, ever so watched, stand once again at the edge of society's gaze. Who among them will rise to the light this time? The music shifts to a slightly faster rhythm, violins weaving with tension. The Queen watches closely, her eyes sharp as diamonds. The Featheringtons whisper in corners, their schemes dancing as delicately as lace. And in the shadows, our anonymous writer sharpens her pen, ready to reveal every secret worth telling. Because, dear viewer, where there is love, there is scandal. And where there is scandal, there is Lady Whistledown. A parchment unfolds on screen. The elegant ink begins to form words as the narration continues. This season, the stage is set not for silence but for spectacle. Rumors travel faster than carriages, and no reputation is safe from the flutter of a fan or the slip of a tongue. So prepare yourself, dear reader, for a return to passion, power, and perfectly delicious drama. Fade to the Bridgerton family crest, slowly glowing into view. Soft light blooms behind it. Because in this world, love is never simple, and secrets once revealed can change everything. Music swells. Fade to black. Text on screen. Bridgerton Season 4. The story begins soon. A gentle breeze sweeps across the screen, carrying the faint sound of a quill scratching parchment. The music softens to a single cello note, deep and lingering. The camera moves through an empty ballroom. The chandeliers are dark now, the flowers faded, the echoes of laughter long gone. Then the voice returns, poised, calm, but laced with curiosity. Before we step into what awaits, let us look back, not with sorrow, but with fascination. The last season left behind trails of love and longing, of words spoken and those swallowed in silence. For every dance that ended with a bow, there was a secret exchanged beneath a candle's flicker. Soft flickers of faceless silhouettes. A woman's hand clutching a letter. A man's gloved fingers brushing hers as they pass. A fleeting glance across a crowded room. London's Tun, ever hungry for novelty, still speaks in hushed tones of what has been. Of the hearts that found each other and the ones that slipped apart. Of alliances made for duty and hearts that dared to love for truth. Oh, how easily affection becomes the talk of the empire. The sound of distant carriage wheels fades in. Slow, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. The voice lowers. The Bridgertons have danced on that fine line between honor and desire again and again. And though their world is wrapped in lace and courtesy, it trembles under the weight of passion and pride. Season 3 may have ended its tale, but its ripples still disturb the still water of the Tun. Cut to a soft montage, the silhouettes of letters being burned, a ballroom door closing, a single rose wilting in a vase. For some, the past is a memory to cherish. For others, it is a secret best left buried. But as every reader knows, Lady Whistledown forgets nothing. The scene sharpens, a feather pen dips into ink. The words Season 4 begin to form on paper. And so we begin anew. The story picks up not with endings, but with awakenings. Friendships will be tested, loyalties will twist, and the dance of love will once again claim its partners. Because in Bridgerton, even the calm between seasons hides a storm waiting to waltz. A gentle swell of violins rises. The camera pulls back to reveal a wide shot of Regency London bathed in morning light. Golden, quiet, and full of promise. Dearest gentle viewer, make no mistake. The whispers you hear are not from yesterday. They are from tomorrow, already eager to be told. Fade out to the Netflix logo, shimmering like candlelight. Soft strings fade, replaced by the distant echo of Lady Whistledown's quill scratching once more. A gust of wind sweeps through the empty streets of Regency London. Sheets of parchment flutter across cobblestone paths, carrying snippets of inked whispers. A new season, a new scandal, a new Bridgerton story. The camera glides past the ornate gates of a grand estate. Inside, golden light spills across marble floors. A servant's footsteps echo. A silver tray carries a single letter. The wax seal, deep crimson, stamped with the familiar B. Then, silence. The music halts. A single heartbeat fills the still air. A soft, knowing voice cuts through the quiet. Slow, deliberate, and wrapped in anticipation. Dearest gentle viewers, it seems the time for speculation has come to an end. The whispers were true, the wait most unbearable. But at long last, the next chapter of our beloved tale is ready to unfold. The letter is opened. Inside, gilded letters shimmer as the voice continues. Netflix and Shondaland, the guardians of our most scandalous stories, proudly present Bridgerton, Season 4. The orchestra swells, violins, harps, and drums, joining in glorious unison. Cut to quick flashes. A carriage door opens. A hand adjusts a lace glove. A ballroom bursts into light as curtains pull back. A fan opens. The gold embroidery reads, "The story continues." The season has returned, and with it, the promise of love, in all its reckless beauty. Hearts will flutter, tongues will wag, and reputations, oh, they shall tremble. The screen fills with a kaleidoscope of regal colors. Sapphire, gold, rose, and ivory. Silhouettes waltz across the frame, faceless yet full of life. The camera pans upward toward the chandelier, its reflection shimmering like starlight. The Bridgerton family once again steps into the light, ready to claim their place in London's ever-watchful gaze. New romances are whispered about, old wounds resurface, and destiny calls to those brave enough to answer. A faint laugh echoes, then the voice of Lady Whistledown cuts in sharply, crisp and playful. And rest assured, dear reader, this author has already sharpened her quill. After all, what is love without a little scandal to accompany it? The music softens to a single piano note. Text fades in over a soft rising mist. Bridgerton, Season 4. Now in production. So prepare your hearts, polish your manners, and ready your invitations. For soon, the grandest affair of the season shall return. Only on Netflix. The music swells one final time, bold, romantic, and triumphant. The Bridgerton crest glows in gold, then fades into the iconic Netflix N. A faint whisper closes the scene. Yours truly, Lady Whistledown. Fade to black. The sound of rain begins, soft, rhythmic, steady. A lone candle flickers beside an open window, its flame bending gently to the night breeze. A piano hums a melancholic melody, faint and tender. The screen shows only fragments, a gloved hand tracing the edge of a letter, raindrops falling on cobblestones, a reflection of the moon trembling in a puddle. The voice returns, low and inviting, more intimate now, as if sharing a secret meant only for one listener. Love, that most delicate of emotions, and yet the most dangerous game of all. It begins not with thunder but with a glance, a heartbeat, a hesitation too long to ignore. The camera drifts through faceless silhouettes, two figures crossing paths beneath umbrellas, a dance paused mid-step, a letter being torn in half. This season, dear viewer, a new romance brews in the shadows of London's glittering society. It will not arrive in grand fanfare, nor will it ask for permission. It will slip in quietly, unseen, until hearts are no longer their own. The rain fades. The melody shifts. Soft strings begin to weave around the piano, growing warmer, fuller. They will say it began with chance. They will say it was destiny. But as every soul in the ton knows, fate is rarely that kind. Love here is both invitation and test. To be desired is a privilege. To be known is a risk. Cut to images of gloved hands brushing accidentally. A secret glance at a ballroom mirror. The faint trace of a smile behind a fan. And yet, despite the rules written in gold, some hearts will refuse to obey. This new story dares to challenge what love should look like, who deserves it, and how far one will go to keep it. The voice grows softer, the tone shifting from narration to confession. The heart does not follow rank nor reason. It listens only to the quiet pull between two souls. A pull that grows louder with every passing day. A letter is shown being sealed with wax. The stamp presses down firmly. This time, not with the Bridgerton crest, but anew. The sound of lace rustling breaks the silence. A wardrobe door opens slowly, revealing a sea of gowns in ivory, sapphire, and gold. A tailor's chalk traces smooth lines along a bodice. Pearls glint beneath candlelight. The camera glides through this quiet preparation. Faceless hands adjusting fabric, polishing jewelry, tying ribbons. The voice returns, warm yet precise, like a whisper from the wings before the curtain rises. Before every grand performance, there is a moment unseen. The flutter of fabric, the hush of breath, the spark of creation. It is here, behind the velvet curtain, that the magic of Bridgerton begins anew. The sound of distant laughter floats through the air, mixed with the faint click of a director's clapboard. The hum of an orchestra tuning their instruments fills the background. Our world of silk and scandal returns under familiar hands. From the genius of Shondaland, the empire that wove romance into regality, comes another masterpiece. One crafted with precision, with passion, and perhaps with a touch of mischief. Quick cuts flash across the screen, a quill scribbling scene 12, a gloved hand adjusting a crown, a faceless figure stepping into sunlight on set. The scene feels alive, electric, full of movement yet grounded in elegance. The Bridgerton family returns, their voices, their glances, their unspoken words brought to life by those we have adored. Each step, each sigh, each scandal, captured once more by the cast that made hearts race across continents. A pause. Then, new shadows appear, new figures behind the curtain. The music turns curious, playful. But where there are old hearts, there are new ones. Fresh faces now step into London's endless waltz. Strangers to the ton, but not for long. Their stories, their secrets, their loves yet unspoken, waiting only for the turn of a page. The scene slows. We glimpse faceless actors rehearsing a dance. A hand reaches out, a bow is taken. The voice softens, almost tender. Each costume is a whisper of history. Each scene, a heartbeat of art. And every word, though carefully written, carries something real, something human. For Bridgerton is not merely watched, dear viewer, it is felt. The camera pans upward, showing the grand set coming alive. Chandeliers flicker on, extras take their places, and an unseen director calls, "Action!" From the quiet of ink to the blaze of the ballroom, this is where the world of Bridgerton is reborn, not by chance, but by the craft of those who dream in drama and breathe in beauty. The strings rise in harmony. The Bridgerton crest appears once more, this time engraved on a film slate. Season 4, a creation of devotion, art, and perhaps just a hint of scandal. The stage is set. The players are ready. The orchestra halts on a single note. A soft whisper cuts through, and this author cannot wait to watch it all unfold. Fade to black. Text on screen. From Shondaland and Netflix, Bridgerton Season 4 is in motion. The screen opens to a dimly lit study. A candle burns low, its flame trembling with each draft. Papers are scattered across an oak desk. Sealed letters, ink-stained notes, torn pages filled with elegant handwriting. The room feels heavy, alive with secrets waiting to be spoken. A clock chimes in the distance. Then, silence. The voice returns, softer this time, almost like a confession. And so, dear viewer, we find ourselves here, on the edge of something exquisite. The whispers have turned to words, and those words are about to set hearts ablaze once more. The Tun sleeps tonight, blissfully unaware of the chaos that tomorrow's dawn shall bring. A faint waltz begins, low and haunting. Shadows of faceless dancers twirl slowly through an empty ballroom. The chandeliers flicker, casting reflections like ripples on water. Love, it seems, refuses to rest. Secrets, it appears, demand to be told. And in the city that thrives on gossip, one truth remains eternal. No secret stays buried for long. A close-up of parchment. Lady Whistledown's quill dips into ink. The tip hovers over the page. The first line begins to form, though the words are hidden from view. Season 4 is not merely a return, it is a reckoning. A season where masks shall slip, and hearts shall reveal what words cannot. Some will rise in glory, others will fall from grace. But all shall be seen. The piano joins the waltz now, lifting the mood but tightening the tension. Each note seems to pull the viewer deeper into the story's unspoken promise. London's high society prepares its finest smiles, its sharpest words, its most polished lies. For when the first invitation arrives and the first dance begins, the game shall start anew. And this author, a pause, shall be watching. Cut to a slow montage, a masked ball, a letter slipping beneath a door, a candle extinguished by unseen hands. The voice lowers, a whisper beneath the music. Dearest gentle viewer, keep your composure. The scandal to come will not ask your permission. It will demand your attention. The screen fades to black. Then a single golden feather falls gently into view, catching the candlelight as it drifts downward. Until we meet again, in the next chapter of love and deceit, remember this: the Tun may dance, but it is Lady Whistledown who leads. The quill scratches one final time, finishing her signature with a flourish. The soft whoosh of sealing wax. The music rises, bright, emotional. Conclusive. Text on screen. Bridgerton Season 4, the most scandalous season yet. Then, the final line, whispered like a secret shared through time. This author promises, dear reader, it shall be quite the affair. The music fades. The candle flickers out. Silence. The screen opens in darkness. A faint rustle of parchment breaks the silence, followed by the steady rhythm of a quill gliding across paper. A candle flickers to life, bathing the frame in soft golden light. The edge of a letter comes into view, crisp, elegant, sealed with wax. The orchestral hum returns, gentle but full of anticipation. Strings rise like the whisper of dawn, and the voice, graceful, familiar, and unmistakably confident, begins to speak. And so, dear reader, our tale draws to a pause. Not an ending, for Bridgerton stories never truly end. They linger, like perfume after a dance, or a gaze that lasts a heartbeat too long. The music deepens, rich and warm. We see faceless silhouettes in motion. A woman placing a necklace in a velvet box. A man closing a letter with trembling hands. A carriage door shutting quietly as night falls. The halls will echo once more with the murmur of conversation, the flutter of fans, and the laughter of the bold. Behind every smile lies a secret, and behind every secret, a heart that dares to feel. A single violin thread drifts upward, joined by the soft pulse of drums, a heartbeat in melody. The camera moves slowly across the empty ballroom, now reset for the next grand event. Flowers are replaced, chandeliers polished, and musicians quietly tune their instruments. The stage is set, The ink is dry, and the city waits. Season 4 promises not only new faces and fortunes, but choices that will test even the strongest of hearts. For love, dear viewer, has never been a gentle visitor. It arrives unannounced, demands attention, and leaves its mark. The scene transitions to a flurry of letters being delivered across the ton, each bearing the same seal, Lady Whistledown's mark. One lands softly on a table. The wax cracks open. Inside, only 5 words. The story continues. Be ready. The orchestra swells. The camera lifts above London. Rooftops glowing under the morning sun. Carriages beginning to move. Smoke curling into the sky. And now the time has come to bid farewell. Until the next waltz. The next scandal. The next name whispered in the night. Until the quill touches parchment once more. A brief pause. Then that signature tone returns. Sly, proud, and deliciously teasing. This author advises you to stay quite alert, for when the ton returns, it shall do so in grand fashion. And this season, nobody is safe from curiosity. The sound of laughter fades into the distance. The Bridgerton crest glimmers against a backdrop of swirling gold light. Text on screen. Bridgerton, Season 4. Coming soon to Netflix. The Netflix logo emerges, bold and final. As it fades, one last whisper, playful and lingering, closes the story. Yours faithfully, Lady Whistledown. A soft piano note rings out, and the screen fades to black.